I am your host for tonight for Live and Unfiltered. And tonight we're going to be talking about self reflection and also current events. So don't be shy. You can comment down below anything you feel like can contribute to the conversation. We'll appreciate that. I'm waiting for Kia to join. I already said go live with you. It says you requested. Hold on a minute. Okay, I'm going to accept it now. Okay, there you go. Great. Take two. All right.
I'm sick of Instagram too at this point.
Sick of Facebook, sick of Instagram, sick of it all. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I already introduced myself, so go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Kia. I'm your co-host for tonight. Welcome to episode 3, as Chanel has already said. And like she said, don't be shy. Please interact with us in the comments. We want to hear your thoughts.
All right, so we're gonna hop right into it. So tonight, about kind of explained to our guests already, or not our guests, our people coming in, that we're going to be focusing on self-reflection and also current events. So the first question we're going to hop into is, what is something surprising you've learned about yourself? And you can explain, it can be general, it could be in depth, however you feel like you want to explain yourself.
A couple of things. One, I work really well under pressure, which I knew, but it's like there's certain levels of pressure. So I think
I'm laughing because,
that's
go
what you
ahead.
put.
I literally said, very good in stressful
No,
situation under pressure.
no,
Go ahead.
no. We are too
Just
much alike.
Just
This
go
is
ahead. That's why I was
crazy.
just cracking up, and I was like, God dang! All right, go ahead. Just
I
go ahead.
work really well under pressure. I won't go
Uh-huh.
into details, but like, it starts off maybe in school where it's like you push an assignment to the last minute and that be the assignment that you end up getting an A. To now, like in real life situations, whether it be on the job or your personal life, you get tested and it's like, wow, just being able to execute very well under pressure. So that's something that I surprise myself every time I do have something thrown at me and I have to get it done. But also, another thing is I'm creative, and I never thought I was creative, but I find
Um.
that,
All right. I'm gonna
let
let you
me finish.
finish.
I don't care if you wrote this down. I didn't talk to you about this.
And
These
we
are
really
the
did. We
things I
had
said.
no discussions
I'm
about this at all.
creative. Growing up in school, I was more like the writer, the reader. I was just like book smart, but the creativity skills just wasn't there. So I feel like as I grew older, I'm tapping more into that now, and I'm just surprising myself because I'm like, wow, I didn't even know I was this creative. So, yeah, that's mine.
All right. So, as written here, number one, I'm creative. So,
What you say? Run that back again.
I'm creative. I'm reading from a piece of the paper. I literally wrote my answers down to the discussion questions tonight. So number one, I'm creative. That's the first thing I wrote down. That is funny because we literally did not
Did not
discuss this
discuss
at
it.
all, and we just so happened to have the same answer. That is so funny. That's how we're in tune. But I put here I am creative. I like to draw when I was younger. Like that was my thing. Like caricatures and like cartoon. That was like my thing to draw. And now my
Mm-hmm.
kid is like that. Like she's very artistic as well. Like she loves to draw, love to color, love to do that. So I'm creative like that, and I like to learn different things. Like I feel like anything that I feel like I can't do, it's like I challenge myself to learn how to do it or to learn how to do some part of it.
Right.
So right. So when it comes to like the creative side of things, like for example, us having a podcast, like who would have thought like 5 years ago I was gonna have a podcast that nobody thought about that. You
Right.
know what I mean? So I
I
like
was
to
not thinking about a
right,
podcast 5 years
right. So
ago.
we tapped in, hey, welcome in.
Hey,
So
Sakura.
so
Feel
we
free to
tapped
chime in on
in.
the conversation, by the way.
We tapped into that. So I feel like that's something for me that, like you said, as you grow more from, childhood to adulthood, you tap into your creativity. So I like to learn new things, and I'm like very hands-on, and I'm very technical. Like I'm the type of person where like if something's wrong with the phone or computer, it's like I want to solve the issue with it. Like I want to solve that tech problem, even though I'm
Oh, yeah,
not
that's not
into tech,
me. You got that.
but I always want to solve or learn something like how to get around this problem so I can help myself. Something like that. And the second thing I wrote on here is that I'm very good in stressful situations. And basically, I put reactions are very good when I'm under stress. So, for example, for me, I've avoided so many accidents already. Like someone's about to hit me, or I'm about to hit someone. It's
Mhm.
like my reflexes and my instincts like kick in immediately, and I'm like calm. I don't know what it is, but it's like this sudden calm that comes over my body, and it's like I know how to react in situations. So I've avoided so many accidents by just like being alert. Like I
Yes,
don't know, my mind just
being
flips
able
in
to
that
be
moment.
quick, yeah, quick on
Right,
your
right.
feet,
Under like
basically.
when
Yeah.
I know I'm in danger, I'm in harm's way, I'm like, okay, how am I gonna get out of this before I get there? So it's like I'm very quick, and I've avoided so many accidents because I thought quick on my feet. So that for me is like in the moment, but instead of me panicking, I'm just calm. It's like I don't know what it is, but I just calm myself down. I kind of like talk myself through before the situation happened. If
Mhm.
that makes sense. So yeah, those are my two that I wrote to things that I'm very surprised about, because a lot of times I feel like when you're in a stressful situation, you panic. Like it's flight or
Yes.
fight mode. For me, it's not flight. I go to fight instead of flight mode. I think about it.
Right.
Like I
When
want
I
to, yeah.
was
So
younger, I was definitely like panic, and I feel like definitely that's something like as you get older, you kind of just grow into like, leaning more into that fight instead of,
instead of flight,
flight. Yeah. But yeah, that was
I
me
agree.
initially. I was more of a flight person, but I've learned now.
Right. Okay. So while we're off that topic, let's hop into the next question. What character traits do you most respect in other people, and why? You can list any amount that you want.
I'm going to list five.
Okay.
So I'm going to say loyalty,
Mm-hmm.
genuineness,
Mm-hmm.
being trustworthy,
Mm-hmm.
supportive, and
Mm-hmm.
valuable.
Mm-hmm.
These are all traits that I like to think that I possess, so I feel like it shouldn't be much for me to ask that of others. I just feel like
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just basic. There's more you could say to it, but without those five traits, I just don't see how, I could be compatible with the person. That goes with whether it be a family member, someone I'm trying to network with, or a friend. Like if I can't trust you, if you're not sincere when it comes to me, if you're not supporting me, if you're not bringing value in my life, then it's like you're just taking up space. So
Right.
I respect people who carry those traits.
Okay, good. So for me, I did list three. The first one's loyalty. It's like once I got you, I'm expecting you to have me too.
Mhm.
Like, it kind of works for me. Like, if you don't got my back, it's like, what's gonna make me have yours? Like you say, it's reciprocal. So if I'm pouring out, I'm gonna need you to pour in my cup too. If I'm filling your cup up, I need you to pour something back in my cup. Like, don't just take from my cup and fill yours up, and then I'm over here empty. So that's one. The second one is respect, like having an understanding between two people, like grown adults. Having a mutual understanding, setting boundaries, like being able to understand those boundaries. Like, if you say, listen, I'm not feeling good and I need my space, it's like, okay, I'm able to understand that, but just communicate that to me so we're on the same page. Don't have me thinking like, oh, well, maybe you're upset, or maybe like, don't have me guessing. Just kind of communicate,
Right. How
keep the
you
lines of
feel?
communication
Yeah.
open, so that way there's no confusion and I can be on the same page as you, because sometimes you miscommunicate for the smallest things that could have been avoided. The next one is a value. I have here providing value and helping me grow. So if I'm helping you grow, if I'm helping you grow, I need for you to help me grow too. Just like you say, it doesn't make sense to have people around you that don't really want to move or grow from the position they're in. Like, I understand everybody grow at different pace. I understand everybody learns differently. I understand everybody's goals are different. But you
Mhm.
need to be having something going on for you, or wanting to do better, or at least I say, hey, here are my goals, and it takes me a little bit longer to get there. But
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm eventually gonna get there. Like, set
Okay.
goals that you can achieve. So thank you, and welcome to anyone coming in. So those are for me: loyalty, respect, and adding value to my life.
We pretty much
Align,
said
yeah.
similar things.
All right. So the next question we're going to go ahead and hop into is, and these again are all focused in on self-reflection. We are taking the time to reflect on our personal mindset, our personal experiences, and our personal life. So the next question we have is, how do you feel? This one is going to kind of go into trending topics now. We're going to shift from self-reflection to trending. Trending. How do you feel about TikTok and the recent changes to ban the app? Do you feel like your rights are being violated? Why or why not? Or you can expand on that.
I hope there's some TikTokers on here. Please let us know if you are active participant or user of TikTok, because I'm not. So I want to know from a user's perspective How do y'all feel about the potential ban on TikTok? The latest news I heard was that Biden was telling the parent company that if they don't sell the TikTok company to another company or whatever, they don't sell it, then like it will be banned in the US. And he kind of signed off on that. And I guess the president was like, well, we don't have intentions on selling TikTok. So I don't know what that means for a user, but like, do you feel like your rights are being violated? Let us know. TikTok
Okay,
users.
so I can go ahead and give my 2 cents on there because I dibble and dabble with TikTok. I have my moments when I binge it and moments when I take months break from it. I'm terrible. Like I'm not consistent at all because it gets overwhelming for me where I'm just like people are very creative, but then sometimes it's just like, you just need different things in your spiritual
Yeah.
life. Like you're just some of the things. And when you scroll on TikTok, it really doesn't like sometimes they'll push content that you're not looking for, but they'll push stuff and you go to scroll and you're like, wait a minute, that's not something I want to be a part of. So for me, I'm gonna have 3 points on the whole TikTok thing. First, I was watching Zoe's live, and he made a good point. He's like, when it comes to TikTok, what the government is trying to do, one, this is what I feel is, I do agree with him. One, I feel like a lot of people have learned how to capitalize off of TikTok. They've learned how to make money.
Mhm.
They've learned how to start their own business. They've learned how to flourish. And I feel like in America, we typically have, the lower class, the middle class, and the upper class. And I feel like when it comes to TikTok, what it kind of did was cut out the middleman, and it's like, the government doesn't like that. They usually try to keep us in that middle range or lower. They don't really want you upper. So when it comes to TikTok and people creating their businesses and being successful from it, I feel like it is corporate America is suffering where a lot of people are quitting their jobs and they're relying on TikTok and a lot of their businesses to grow from TikTok. So because of that, it's affecting the economy because it's like billions of people that are on TikTok, and a lot of people have been able to learn, grow from it, and like I said, flourish their
Mhm.
business and start businesses and be successful with it. So I feel like that's kind of like the government's way of adding control is saying like, okay, you know what? If they're making money from this, they're quitting their 9 to 5, and that's less money
Yeah.
going back into the system. So I feel like it's controlled. If they're able to cut out TikTok, do you know how many people are going to be out of jobs
A
and how many
lot.
people are going to have to right because it's all social media and social media really really pays. So I feel like they're trying to use a tactic to control what you can and can't do because I don't feel like TikTok. I mean, I understand there's good pros and cons. People have died from doing challenges and stuff, but there's a lot more people that have flourished on TikTok. So I feel like they should leave it up to the discretion of the people who want to participate in TikTok and who doesn't. You delete the app, whatever the case. Like, give us the right to do so. I feel like just saying, well, this is what the nation believes. This is going to be banned. Like you're also taking away the rights for a lot of people to put food in their families' mouths. You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like there's another way to go about it. That's just like saying, well, why you didn't take away Instagram? Why you didn't take away Facebook? It's like, okay, TikTok blew up because TikTok is helping a lot more families and a lot more money and a lot more residual income than Instagram and Facebook. So I feel like they're not bothered by the other social media, but they're threatened by TikTok. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like
Right.
because TikTok isn't a US based app, so they're not really
Right.
able to. The government not able to really make money off of it like they would like. So it's like, well, if
Right.
we're not capitalizing off of it, then y'all users shouldn't be. Like I don't know. I feel like it's just a selfish reason behind it. Anna
Right.
says, I personally don't use TikTok as an instrument to my brand. I forget I have it. For others, it's their gateway to clients and making money.
It
Yeah, especially
is.
for influencers and content creators. Like
Yep.
they be helping other businesses
It's
too.
one of the easiest platforms to grow on. So it's like that's the problem. It's like I don't know if you've heard about like the ATL money glitch or whatever. I feel like it's something like that. It's like people have found out how to make money off of TikTok and how to stay relevant and how to blow up so they know how to make consistent money. And I think the government don't like that. They need us to depend on them. And it's like, okay, but you're paying dimes and nickels and you want us to support who? You know what I'm saying? And it's like with TikTok, once you're an influencer, you're getting paid for your work. So I
Hmm.
feel like they're not looking at it like helping us. I feel like it's something that didn't he didn't have
They're
to go
just, I
mess
feel
with that.
like the government's just not able to profit like they would like to. It's like it's an app that's like just in their way. It's like
Right. They're not getting
it's
they're not
taken
getting the
from.
funds.
Yeah, they're not profiting from it, so they're kind of like, oh no, this app is the problem.
Right.
So
All
I
right.
agree.
So, okay, we all agree with that. You guys can drop your thoughts in the comment as well for whoever uses TikTok. I use it, but like I said, I'm one of those. I go on TikTok, post
Every blue
something
moon,
for like
get off.
2 days, and then like 4 months, TikTok see me again, and then I get on there. I'm like, oh, I like this content, I like this. I binge it, then I'm off again for like 3, 4 months. I don't know. It's just like inconsistent with
I
me,
don't
so
like
I
how
can't.
addicting it was for so many people during the pandemic. So I was like, okay, I
It,
don't want to get addicted, so I just
It
didn't even
was.
download it.
I was at first. I was on there every single day, posting
Yeah.
all the time, and then I took like a pause from there, and then they created that thing where if you keep swiping, it'd be like, "Hey, hold up, you've been scrolling for 4 hours." It'd be like, "You've been scrolling for too long." And I said, "Well, wait a minute." So I would just get off when it tells me that because I've been on there for so long, and I didn't notice how many hours I wasted. So that was me. I was addicted to it at
I
first, and I was like, "Oh no."
know so many people were, and I'm like,
But during that time, so there was nothing to do. You're cooped up
I
in the house. You
know.
have to find entertainment, and a
I
lot of
was just
people
on
can.
Instagram and Facebook and
But
Snapchat. I
see,
think I was
a
too.
lot of people benefited because that's when they got into creating their own jobs because
Yeah,
that's when people started losing jobs and furlough and all that stuff. So
that's true. Chris said I've used it more so just for content, but being able to connect with international brands it's helped with networking and immensely.
right,
Yeah, that's
right.
what we were saying. I feel like it definitely helps like entrepreneurs and content
Hmm.
creators and influencers. So like y'all are gonna really feel the impact if that ever went into effect. Hopefully it doesn't. Because I was thinking like, dang, maybe I'll hop on TikTok in the next 6 months or so if it ain't gone.
Right.
I'm gonna wait it out and see what happens. But yeah, I wanna see what TikTok talking about. But hopefully it doesn't because it's really gonna put a damper in a lot of people's funds.
Uh-huh. All right, moving right along. Another current topic. We're gonna hop onto JT and Young Miami. Okay. JT and Young Miami's solo careers. Did you always see this as something coming? And if so, what were the signs? What do you think led to this, or why are they such a major topic as of right now? Like, what do you think?
One, I say kudos to both young ladies. I'm not gonna say, you know how they say, we're forced together and da 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 da. But I kind of like them separate. Like they have been pushing out some good stuff like separately. Not saying they don't do good stuff together, but like sometimes it's like one have a whack verse, the other have a good verse, and we'd be like, but at least when they're separate, it's kind of like, okay, there's really no comparison. Like they just doing their own thing. We're not comparing the two ladies. I like JT's solo. We kind of all saw it coming when they were still together and pushing out albums. Everybody was kind of like, Jay-Z, go solo, because she had the stronger verses,
Mm-hmm.
which I feel is true, but that's an opinion. But a lot of people feel like she had the stronger verses. She was the real rapper of the group. Miami was just added on as like, come on, like support me, come be the second
Right.
rapper. So I'm not doing this by myself. That was in their documentary. So Miami was never really the rapper. So it's kind of like I kind of gave her grace knowing that she wasn't the rapper for real. But she's been doing good, all things considering she wasn't really a
Right.
rapper. So
Right.
I just feel like one, JC is doing her thing. But yes, I saw it coming, especially when they no longer lived in the same city together. One's way in a whole nother time zone, whole nother coast. And you see one like always in the tabloids and one is always like on social media heavy, the other person kind of like put up in the house or doing their own thing,
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of out the way, and so it's like the comparisons start to happen, and it's like, hold up, why this person da 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 and this person never around this person? And so it's kind of like we kind of already started putting the pieces together, like are they really like they everything good, are they still working on stuff together? And then when they start putting out solo singles, we like, hold up, what's going on? But it's like we kind of predicted it, but it's like they didn't confirm nothing. They just started pushing out their own stuff.
Right.
So I commend both of the ladies. I do feel like this isn't the end of the group. They're probably still gonna do some things, but I feel like right now it's good that they're focusing on themselves individually, finding out who they are as an individual before they, get back into the group setting. So yeah.
Okay. So, you want to read what Anna
I
said?
think they shared in the success for a short-lived time because at the height of it, JT had to go do time for fraud, so they probably just outgrew the group. I like them individually as well. Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. I feel like this is just their time to
So
do their own thing.
I had 3 points. One, I felt like I felt like when it came to like, I felt like money, being money hungry was for one a thing. I felt like once we started seeing um Young Miami like doing her thing, it's like, she was kind of like attached to Diddy and his brand. So it's almost like a lot of, I don't want to say fame, but a lot of spotlight she got put in. I felt like, because she knew him, or she was such a close, what do you call it, situationship with him. It's like she was put in a lot of limelight that she probably wouldn't when it comes down to her and JT. That's
Mm-hmm.
just how I feel. So I feel like when she was chasing at the money and not really keeping that like loyalty and friendship when it comes to JT. I felt like when it comes to that, it's like she was just chasing the bag, chasing the bag, chasing the bag. And then now it's like, okay, well, when the bag left, it's kind of like now she's feeling some type of way because she's circling back around to JT. That's just how I personally
Mm-hmm.
feel. And for two, I feel like he created a lot of separation in their friendship because they both had interviews, and that was one of the questions all the time, like, "Hey, are y'all breaking up? What's going on?" And JT
Yeah.
kept saying, like, I don't want nothing to come between us, and she kept emphasizing like a man, a man, a man. And then
Yep.
it's like, well,
Mm-hmm.
Uzi over there minding his business, so the only my man would have been Diddy at the time. So she just kept hinting at it in interviews, and you could tell like her demeanor would change when she would talk about it. And also for me, it's like I follow them both on Twitter. So you always see like they always say when people coming at the Young Miami, it's like JT stand up for her, and that's true. You be seeing her in them comments, be tussling with the people
Yeah.
with all captions.
Meanwhile.
But then when it's like JT's turn, really Miami do be quiet, or she be like, "Oh, I just woke up from a nap." Like it's always something as to why she can't
Yeah.
be there. You know what I mean? Like she was. So for me, I felt like JT had more of a loyalty to her, and when she realized that loyalty wasn't being returned, that's when JT was like, "Oh, okay, it's my time to
To
step
do
away." Because
me.
right,
Yeah.
I feel like she held it as long as she could, and then she realized that it wasn't being returned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the second point. And then the third point is I just felt like they grew separately as
And I
individuals. Like you said,
said, yeah.
Miami has her kids and stuff to focus on, her family to feed. JT has her own thing going. So I felt like they were together, like they started just kind of growing apart and establishing who they were. Like they kind of came into this like, to me, I felt like they came into this like, girl, let's just try this and see where it goes. That's just what I felt when they came in.
For sure.
Right. And then they were just like, well, this is where it stopped. And they both got on separate trains at that point. That's just how I feel personally. So
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes that happens when you grow apart in friendship. And it's like, as long as they understand and everything is good behind closed doors, then that's them. I like them separate too. I like them together. But I do get to see like a lot more of their personality and a lot more of, I guess you could say, depth to them individually, because you kind of say,
Yes.
okay, she doing her thing. It's like nobody's using no one's fame, or nobody's using who's more likable to influence each other. They're just kind of growing their own fan base from ground up instead of together. So that's my
Yeah.
thought
And I love
on
that.
that.
Who would have thought JT would be like heavy in fashion? Because like they
Right,
came out with these super like Miami personalities,
right.
and it's like I don't know, like apples and oranges, but like she's doing her thing with the whole fashion
Hmm.
thing too. So I love that because they used to be like, oh, and when Young Miami had the Carisha Please podcast, it's like, oh, well, what you got, JT? Like it just seemed like
Right,
everything
they
was
kept
all
comparing
falling
them.
in
Right.
Miami's favor. But
Hmm.
now look, so that's why you don't count people out.
Right, the tables have turned. So, all right, y'all, it's 9 o'clock, so we're gonna go ahead and hop into this or that. We do have 5 quick questions. You're just gonna choose one. You're free to comment down below. All right, this or that, fly or road trip?
Fly.
Fly, for sure. Now, listen, hold up now. I do want to do a road trip, but if
That's
I
so
had to
nice.
choose, between both, I'm gonna get on somebody plane real quick.
Mhm.
But I'll choose a road trip now. It just depends. All right. The second one, 80s or 90s?
90s.
90s for sure. I feel like some things from the 80s is cool, but
I'm
I feel like because I was,
I'm not trying to be in the
born.
crack period. I'm okay.
Right, I understand that. I'm thinking about the more so like the positive side of things, but I feel like because I was born in the 90s, that's just what I know more about. So I'm gonna just stick to my
Mhm.
era. Okay. All right. The third one, Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix. Only
Definitely
thing I
Netflix.
use Hulu for is really Grey's Anatomy, even though that's on Netflix too, I think.
I don't know. I'm like, I haven't really got into Hulu. I'm kind of the person that start the free trial and cancel right after. That's it for Hulu. For Netflix, I pay that little $7, $10 a month. I pay that for Netflix, but Hulu, oh, they lost me.
And I say 90s for sure. Era was a vibe and was, and we was low key there to witness it. So I'm like,
You
I mean, I was
know, they
really
don't count
young,
it. They
but
don't
yeah,
count us as '90s babies.
it
We born
don't matter. I was
from
born in the
'94.
90s,
But I'm like, we
and
still '90s. What you mean? What up to
I grew up on
99?
90s music, 90s shows,
Right.
90s culture.
It's
Hulu
because of that thing
Live.
that you tell me. We not millennials. We the what again, Kia? Oh,
We really they claim
Gen
anything past
Z,
95, I think is a Gen Z or
a
something,
Gen
but
Z. Baby.
that ain't me. I'm a millennial. I
Uh-huh.
relate more to
Me too,
millennials.
child. What you say? Replace the six with a four?
Anna, what do you mean Hulu Live? Like the live section of Hulu? Oh no.
Millennials. I'm a
Yes,
part of that.
millennials. Y'all
Uh-huh.
done drank all my little one. I was drinking it like it was juice.
I'm drinking juice, child. The next one, save or spend.
Okay, I would like to say, but I do more spending. Hello.
Definitely spend, but saving is in the picture somewhere.
I would love to save, but I do more spending.
What she said? She paid how much for live?
Whoa.
You could keep that, Anna.
I pay $1 for Hulu every month. I think it's like 99 cents.
I know
They
that's
have
right.
that deal
So you know
around
how much I
Christmas.
pay?
Eighty
Nothing, because
dollars
I don't got it.
but $80 is crazy.
Right.
Oh no.
Save and say, yeah, you
I need
like
to
to
be like
save.
you.
I do like to save, but I like to spend more. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? Okay.
She does
And
the
the
balance.
last one, IG or Facebook?
This is hard.
Oh, it ain't hard for me, baby. I made up
It's
my mind.
hard. I'm saying
Instagram.
IG. I'm gonna
Instagram.
say IG.
Facebook right now, I feel like Zuckerberg just I'm gonna need him to do a little bit
I
something.
only like Facebook because Facebook is so messy and I love to see the mess. Facebook
Uh-huh.
is like the ghetto.
You right.
Facebook is the ghetto and I'm
I
with
feel
it.
like with
But IG
IG
for
though,
sure.
I feel like Facebook is more like family oriented and a little bit more
It
gentler.
is.
And then I feel like IG is just like it's more like friends and networking. That's just
Yes.
how I feel. Right.
Definitely networking and stuff. Yeah.
hmm But that's it, y'all. We have came to an end, and thank y'all so much for tuning in. If you're just coming in, please watch this live. It'll be on one. It'll be on our page, Live and Unfiltered, here on Instagram. That will either be up later tonight or tomorrow, but this full video will be up live tomorrow on YouTube, which is also Live and Unfiltered. Let me get my thoughts together, y'all. So this full video will be on YouTube on tomorrow. We do post our video every Wednesday. If you don't see it on there, of course, there's a slight delay, but it'll be posted before that weekend. But mainly, our main days are Wednesdays for posting on our YouTube page, Live and Unfiltered. You got to click the link in the bio of the page, Live and Unfiltered on Instagram. It'll take you directly to the podcast. It'll take you directly to the full video as well, and little snippets and shorts will be posted on our page. Don't forget to follow both me and my co-host as well, and tune in with us on next Tuesday. Yeah, anything else am I missing here?
No, just make sure you're following the page as well, Live and Unfiltered. We will be tagging it in our stories as well, so you can easily just click it and go follow it. So just keep in touch with us. And we love you too, Anna, and miss you. Thanks
Right.
for joining
Thank you so much
in.
for coming. Thank you to everyone that came in and participated. We love it. We enjoy it because you know what? We get a different opinion, which kind of, make us kind of process things a little different. So we appreciate y'all, and I hope you have a great night.
Good
Bye.
night. Thank you.